Hi guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we'll be covering a very interesting topic rooted in God's Word, and this is what Ephesians 5:1 says. Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children. Here we're being asked to emulate God's character, to imitate the characteristics of God's character. So something that is not hugely considered when we talk about being imitators of God is His way of thinking. We must also imitate God's way of thinking. And as Christians, we know that God's way of thinking is always correct. Also, the definition of logic is the study of correct reasoning, or the study of the principles of correct reasoning. We know that God thinks logically because He thinks correctly. And we as Christians must also think correctly because God thinks correctly, and we must also think logically because God thinks logically. Of course, we cannot know everything because we are not God, we are not infinite, we are finite creatures, but we can think logically and we can think correctly about things that go by our day, things that we see daily, and especially when we're defending the faith in front of others. It is of utmost importance to think correctly, to think logically in those moments. So I just wanted to remind us, Christians, that we have this moral obligation to be logical, to think logically, because here we are asked to be imitators of God. In God's Word, we're being asked to emulate His character and His way of thinking. So may this be a ever-present reminder in our hearts and in our minds that we must be logical and consistent with God's way of thinking throughout our daily lives. I hope this is a blessing, and we'll be covering more topics on logic soon. God bless.